Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of S.H.Figuarts Akiba Red from Akibranger Season 2. So you probably already know we got some Akibranger Figuarts last time that Akibranger was around, and this time we're getting a whole new batch of 3, starting with him, who is his upgraded form from the second season, if you couldn't tell that just from the intro. I don't even know why I'm babbling about this. But anyhow, let's just go ahead and kick things off with the box, everyone's favorite part. Just real quick, pretty typical Akibranger box, not too dissimilar from last time. You kind of got the bright rainbowy colors around. It's kind of wavy around there. You got a picture of the figure there. Logo down here and whatnot, Bandai logo. You got a picture of him on the side. Another picture of him on the side. On the top you get these little stars. On the bottom, all those numbers you should call for emergencies. This is like, you know how they have like the emergency pet hotline? This is like the emergency figure art hotline. If like your figure art like chokes on a dog treat. I don't even know if that works. Anyway, so then on the back, of course, you just get more like examples of poses you can put them in and whatnot. So, pretty typical packaging, and it's got Akibranger's flair to it. A pretty solid amount of accessories. You get quite a bit of different hands. Obviously, you always get the closed fists, which are on him. I obviously removed one of them, otherwise he's holding that by magic. Let's just actually hold this out, this is easier. You sort of get this pointing action fist for like a pose like this. You actually got more of a pointy fist. This is for the holding the weapon hand, which I have on him now. More like, this is like, I'm not sure if I want to point at you hand, and this is like, I'm definitely pointing at you hand. More holding weapon hands, just some sort of relaxed hands, some karate chopping hands. And then you get 2 different scarves, one which I have on him, which I'll just show how to switch them out in a minute, which is the sort of flowy in the wind one. And then here is the, just the kind of, you know, standing pose, like right there on the box. He's just standing, it's kind of stationary. Very easy to switch out, I'll show that shortly. And then what's really cool is you get a opened Moi Moi Zikun, which is really neat, and it's actually pretty nicely detailed. So yeah, that's just like a neat little addition. It can't really stand all that well, but you could probably fit it into your display or have one of them hold it. But yeah, it's just neat. And then on him you have his dagger from the second series, which allows him to transform, you know, into Akiba Red. And there it is in dagger form now. I'll show it to you when I get to the figure. Here it is in its statuesque form. Once again, not bad on the details. Just take a look at it. I don't think I'm going to be getting its toy version right away. They announced like a DX toy version like they did for the Zikun last year. And then here's its combined mode, which you probably saw on the side of the box. So there's also that. So, cool, right? Alright. We'll just say alright a bunch. Alright, so now we're getting to the figure. Let's just grab this quick. Here's the Dagger Mode. We'll put that back in his hand later. But so yeah, the figure itself actually is pretty good. Last year's Akiba Red, I had a lot of problems with. It felt really lanky and strange. Maybe it's because of the armor and making him feel less lanky, but he just feels like an all-around more solid figure. Taking a look at him sculpt-wise, he's actually very well done. His helmet sculpt is very nicely done and nice and shiny. The proportions are all pretty good on it. I think they did a good job. I don't see any really weird neck proportions where he's got a stubby neck or like too long of a neck. The armor looks pretty good here. I really do like the design of his super mode. It's very Akibranger. You've kind of got Aoi here. Look like as if he was holding her in his arms, rescuing her, because you can see her head's here on his shoulder, her hand comes around here, and then around back. It's very Akibranger and just a very neat design for that show. But anyhow, it does look very nice, nicely painted. Under here you got the clear red plastic for their chests, and then you know you just got his normal armor, which is fairly nicely done. It's got a really nice gloss to it, so very nicely done details here. And then in here you got this paint that wasn't really here before, as I recall, which is this blue paint. Which it looks fine, and then you got his kind of blank belt. And then you got his legs down here, which are pretty much similar, other than this armor piece. Yeah, because this extends down. That wasn't part of it before. I'm stupid. Anyhow, but they all look fine. These look very, like, paddy. Like, not like a bad thing, but it looks like pads. But yeah, so overall, very nicely detailed, and I'm going to pull in the original Akiba Red here in a few minutes. And like I said, I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't feel as lanky. Like I said in his review, the original Akiba Red's review, he just felt very strange proportion-wise. Very, very lanky. He just kind of felt a little bit weird. But this one actually feels like a much more solid figure. I'm not sure how much they changed, so I'll get more into that when I bring the comparison in. But anyway, so here's the scarf. I'll just try to switch that out real quick before we bring him in. Very simple. There's just a little peg on his back. You see I just popped that off. Sorry, you have to look at my hairy arms. And then, you know, you just put this one on. It's very simple. Whoops. It's very simple, except for Dawson, who's a complete idiot that's broken like 5 Figuarts. To be fair, no, I did break. Not 5, but some of them were parts. Anyway, so yeah, very easy, simple. I'm gonna go ahead and put the other one back on because it's the one I want. But so yeah, very cool. And then now we'll just do our standard articulation fair before we bring in Akiba Red, the event you've been waiting for, so they can finally meet. So pretty standard articulation. You got your ball joint here, 360 rotation, swiveling here, double elbow joint, 360 ball joint here on his fist. You've got articulation here at the waist, and then you can tell that the chest joint is there. Obviously they don't really take it away, but you know it's hindered by his solid armor piece here. 360 ball joint on his leg, you can see it quite visibly there. Swiveling, your double knee joint. Swiveling at his foot, you have a nice, it's a ball joint, sorry, sometimes I forget because I switch them out. And then of course what I call the toe action joint. So, you know, standard Figuarts articulation and whatnot. So I guess I'm just going to put the dagger back in his hand for whatever reason. And then we will go get Akiba Red in just a second. I know you're all like, bring in Akiba Red, we want to see him even though he's already here. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So let me just kind of get him ready to stand next to himself. Like, you gotta be presentable to stand next to yourself. I mean, they teach you that the first day of school. And now he doesn't want to stand. There we go. Alright, so now we'll bring in Akiba Red. Okay, so we have original Akiba Red in here. And they did make some changes to it, which is nice. Obviously, he's a super mode. But just to the overall mode, mold, excuse me, they did make some changes, which actually made a huge difference. The helmet looks to be relatively the same. For whatever reason, this one looks to be shinier. That might be because he's new. I don't know, because this one's been on display a lot. I had to like dust him off. But anyhow, but the helmet sculpt looks to be relatively the same. So there's nothing really changed there. Now, I don't know why I put both their weapons up if I was going to need to show this. If you take a look at original Akiba Red's shoulders, like they kind of dip down here. You get the shoulder pad here. He has much larger shoulder pads. I don't think that this part is necessarily part of the super formation, but regardless, it looks a lot better. It's a lot more of a seamless transition, so you don't have like this empty space here. As you can see, he just looks kind of weird and lanky here. And they even changed, if you can see, they changed his joints here. You can see the joints here at his legs. These are much thicker ball joints compared to these. It's just generally thicker, and so you can just tell from the body down, it just looks a lot thicker. Just keep the buzzword of the day is thicker. But it really made a difference. The mold changes that they made here that make him feel a lot more solid, and I'm actually really happy with that, because when they announced the figures, I was like, well, not really that excited. Like, I was kind of excited to have the Super Mode figure and whatnot, but not really that excited because the Akibranger Figuarts, as much as I loved Akibranger, weren't that great. So I was like, oh great, they're just gonna reuse the same crap molds and just, you know, slap the new armor on him and slap the new pigtails on the girls or whatever. So I'm actually really happy that they went in and tweaked him to make him a lot better of a figure. I mean, you've seen pictures of all of them, but it's hard to tell until you get them. So I really hope that they tweaked Akiba Blue and Akiba Yellow to be just as good. Particularly Akiba Yellow, because my Akiba Yellow Figuart's head falls off if I even just think about it. Like right now, I'm thinking about my Akiba Yellow Figuart, and her head probably just fell off. So anyhow, very, very pleased with this figure. Like I said, I really do like the design. I like Akibranger, so I'm just really happy with it. If you're a fan, I can definitely recommend picking it up. It's a very solid figure. As usual with Figuarts, you get the great articulation, the great details, decent variety of accessories from the show, and he's just a big improvement over the first Akibranger, or Akiba Red Figuart, excuse me. Just a lot more solid of a figure. He doesn't feel lanky, he doesn't feel loose or cheap, if you know what I mean. Yeah, very good figure. I'm very surprised and very impressed impressed. So if you like Akiba Super or Akiba Red's design, by all means, go ahead and pick it up. It's a very nice figure. So anyway, that about wraps it up. Until next time, make sure you check out the crazy podcast of Riders, Ranges, Rambles. Until next time, this is Dawson Rider, signing out.